This video is intended for people who are new to the gong and specifically want to buy one for either doing self-healing at home or practitioners who want to work with clients. So I'm going to share how to play the gong in a healing context. But first I'd like to say a couple of things. And the first is, it's really important that you have the right kind of gong, the right size of gong, and a high quality mallet in order to make your efforts worthwhile and to get optimal results for the time that you put in. So I did another video on how to buy a gong that you'll find on my website, on my Rumble page, on one of my Instagram pages, YouTube. And also, I'd like to say that it's really important, and I say this because many people get intimidated by the gong, is there's a big distinction between the field of gong mastery and gong mastery training and gong sound healing. So we play the gong in a different way, with a different approach, in a different context. So gong mastery training is where you go to learn how to work with the gong in terms of different mallets, different sounds, different strokes, how to become a master of the precision of sound, how to play many different gongs together and blend the gongs with other instrumentation as well in a performance context. When we play the gong for gong sound healing, it's a much more simplified approach. With one gong, that's the right kind of gong, and a high quality mallet. Just one mallet is all that you need. And ideally an adjustable stand to give you flexibility around where you play. So playing the gong in a healing context or for doing spiritual work, consciousness work, meditation, all you need to do is activate the sound current. The sound is audible and you're sending a steady stream of sound into the body. It affects us physically at a cellular level, psychologically, emotionally, spiritually, in a multidimensional way. So the gong and the sound vibrations penetrate all these different levels. And when we're playing the gong in a healing context, it's really important to be present in order to open up fully and get maximum results. So when you're playing the gong, if you're doing self-healing at home, it's wise to set an intention. If you have an issue and an emotional charge, it's also equally important that you go to the gong when issues are present, because your energy is open and the gong sound wave vibrations can access those painful imprints and create a positive shift. So if you're just going to the gong to play and don't have any issues present, set an intention anyway, just to direct your focus and listen to the sound of the gong to help you remain present, which will naturally slow down your brainwave frequency and open you fully to the gong sound wave vibrations and the benefits that they have to offer. It's very different in going to the gong and losing your awareness of what you're doing and where you are, and starting to think about different things that you have to do while you're playing. You want to be focused on yourself, on your energy. You want to have a clear mind and be present with the sound in an ideal way, and direct the person that you're working with to also be focused inwardly in this way. So these are just the basics. And so as I'm playing the gong, I'm just moving the mallet head around just a little bit in either direction to activate different sound frequencies and overtones. It's really that simple. I'm creating a steady river of sound. I can hear it. If you'd like to play with a little bit more intensity, you can do that too. But the main thing is to be mindful and sensitive of the sound that you're producing. You want it to be easy and effortless to listen to. You want to be able to connect with the sound and relax. So you don't want to overplay the gong and create any kind of harsh sounds in any way. By having a larger gong, it doesn't take much effort to play, and there's a lot of power anyway, particularly when you're standing right next to it. So I definitely recommend, if you can, to go up in size from a minimum recommendation of 28 inches up to 30 or even 32 inches, because the gong is heavier and it's more steady. So if you plan on doing a lot of healing work with the gong and consciousness work, it's such a joy to play a gong of this size because of the effortlessness and because of all the power and all those sound waves that are affecting you in all these different ways, mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. So this is the basic way to play the gong in a healing context. But there are many styles and ways of approaching the gong, and there's a lot of wonderful teachers out there that have different styles and approaches and ways of playing. You could also, if you wanted, strike the gong and then pull the mallet away to just listen to the sound breathing. You'll find your own way. For me personally, if I'm doing healing work with a client, I will just strike the gong in a very soft way. I'll move it around a little bit more when I'm working with someone. And another factor that's really important has to do with the mallet and where you hold the mallet. So if I'm just gonging myself or working with a client, I'll typically hold the mallet in the center of the handle because it creates really nice contact with the whole flat side of the gong mallet head, which deflects the mallet head off the gong in a really nice way and creates a beautiful sound just by tapping it gently like this. But when I'm doing energy work with someone, or I'm doing my own inner process, and I take my attention away from the playing aspect, I will always move my hand down a little bit, because too many times when I'm not focused on the playing, I will sometimes tilt my wrist back and the bottom of the mallet handle taps against the gong, and that's disruptive. So that's why I bring my hand down. And in fact, another mallet that I use a lot is Ollie Hess medium mallet, because they actually have a standard long-handled mallet, and they have a short one as well. So I find that I'm using the short one most of the time because of the fact that I like to hold the handle a little bit further up, because I like the way that the mallet makes contact with the gong and the sound that it produces. So you can just experiment with this. And those are just the basics. I could probably do a second video on some other aspects around how to play the gong for healing, which I would love to do. And I'd also like to do one specifically for practitioners working with clients. So I hope you found this video helpful. Thank you.